Hi everyone, and welcome to the first episode of Why Movies Don't Make Sense. Today's episode, I would like to warn you, it contains major spoilers for the movie Black Widow. So if you haven't seen the movie, if you have our intention of seeing that movie, please do not watch one half of this video, or 1/4, or 1/6. Anyway, so I have seen it. That's why I wouldn't, of course, talk about it, because that would be complete nonsense. Anyway, so the thing that baffles me about this movie is just the scientific nonsense. Now, I get it. This is a Marvel. This is supposed to be non-real. This is supposed to be, like, non-existent. But I'm pretty sure most of you have ever wanted to be a soldier, a superhero. If you're, of course, 6-year-old. If you're a 20-year-old watching this video, which you, of course, should not be doing, then I'm pretty sure you know you cannot be a superhero. Of course, if you're not a superhuman, if you don't have as much money as Switzerland, Singapore and Malaysia and United Arab Emirates combined, plus Tony Stark, then I think you would absolutely not believe you're going to be a superhero, because Tony Stark himself had a shit ton of money. Well, anyway, I'm getting off topic here. So, the movie itself was a pretty good of a blast, but the science. So, first scene, well, one of the first scenes where Natasha, the Black Widow, escaped on the plane from the S.H.I.E.L.D. agents with her family, seems like a pretty normal scene from a spy movie. I would also like to point out, just for the purposes of logic, on this part of the video, the movie description did not include the genre science fiction. Now, if the words science fiction were in that description, I would not make this video, at least this part, because then I'd know that there is no point in it, because the comment sections would go like, holy shit man, it's science fiction, it should not be real. However, it did not contain the word science fiction, or sci-fi for short. The word science fiction or sci-fi for short. Now, the scene. The Black Widow escape S.H.I.E.L.D. agents on a plane with her mum, who is piloting the plane, and her sister vibing on the back seat. Now, just before the throttle, just mere moments before, when they already are at a pretty good speed, the mum gets shot. Well, of course, you'd think that this is a Marvel movie. She lived. However, well, I think if you would know logic, you would think that, okay, this is a pretty tragic death at the beginning of the movie, goodbye mum. However, you'd be wrong, because she manages to survive flight with a neck wound from a pistol or a machine gun, like the average American gun, like which most Texans own to kill their families. I don't know. Possibly from an automatic machine gun. She gets shot in the neck, round pretty much the middle of the neck, right side. She survives an entire flight from Ohio, the United States, to somewhere in Cuba, some kind of airfield. So she apparently lives the shot. She lives. I mean, I get it. She was rushed to the hospital. Well, at least was taken to be medically cared of. But that would be scientifically impossible. Now, these who know human science better than me, please, if you know this channel, if you see this video, please take the comment section under your will, at least this part. I mean, using common sense, even for such a douchebag like me, it would be clear that no human, under no circumstance, should survive this shot. Well, if you're, of course, in a Marvel movie, or if you're in a super traumatic, crucial if it's a super dramatic, crucial to the plot movie, or future plots scene, then you might. And that shot, now that I come to think of it, during my rant, it was actually crucial to the plot of the movie. Now, but it is still scientifically impossible, because when you get shot in the neck, pretty much, because we don't know, the bullet might have stayed in her neck, but it also might have gone through, meaning that it would have completely severed all of the blood vessels that were in the neck, and the neck is usually a pretty important part. I mean, yeah, it's a pretty important part of the human body, mostly used for suicide. However, she survives the shot and lives on. And I don't get it. How did they have such super doctors that could do that? She got shot, then how? Was she put under narcosis with a neck wound? They started immediately to treat the wound, even in the plane, but that should have been a kill, just a first shot kill, because she shouldn't have survived. Okay, so I just don't know what to say more about this movie, because my brain doesn't just not comprehend the logic of that scene. However, there is also one scene which I am very unpleased about. This is the opposite end of the movie. This is the end. However, in the end scenes, these guys, well, again, the Black Widow, her sister, and a third person, the villain's daughter, who was made into a female Darth Vader by the Black Widow. They all fall off pretty much the ISS, a cheap knockoff Russian version of the ISS, and well, it doesn't go that bad as you think it would. It's above the clouds, pretty much the level of passenger jets, and they all survive. I get, because her sister had a parachute. I think her name was Yelena. Yeah, so Yelena had a parachute. Natasha had nothing except for some items which would sort of slowly slow the fall, but it was still at pretty high speeds. And Antonia, the daughter, the female Darth Vader, had armor, robot armor, complete robot armor. But not Darth Vader's armor, that would be copyright infringement. And they all survive. Antonia and Natasha carry out a fight. Natasha wins. There's an epic, not so epic family reunion. And then we don't get to see Natasha fight the SHIELD agents. Then we get a skip to 2 weeks later. Then we get to see the English private contractor give Natasha a super plane. And then the movie ends. They should not survive this fall. This is basic science. I get it. They were genetically modified in the Red Room. Also for the sake of this video, the ISS, the Russian ISS copy. But they shouldn't, unless they had some kind of magical body armor. That just wouldn't make any stupid sense. Like, they should have broken their rib cages and immediately died. Okay. Holy shit, this is getting hard to talk about. They should have died. No more than that. They should be dead. Immediately upon impact, and actually the favors were the worst for, the odds were the worst for Natasha. She had absolutely nothing. Just her physique, her bones, and her mind. Well, I get it. She might have been in depression, and I just don't know. The sister of Natasha, she survived, and should survive in the real world. The robot should have not survived, and she could have survived, but not, obviously. And Natasha should be dead, but I get it, it's crucial for the plot of the movie. Not so crucial, because when you just kill her off like that, then there is no more Black Widow standoffs. There is pretty much no more feminism in the Marvel movies. That Black Widow is she's a part of the Avengers, but as we saw in Endgame, you can still kill off Marvel superheroes, and people don't give a shit. I mean, the movie makers, they don't give a shit. I think that Captain America at the time of the plot of the entire movie was in prison. I don't know where Hulk is. Black Widow was pretty much in the movie. Tony Stark was in billionaire heaven, and all the others. Ant-Man was probably, I don't know, demolishing ant nests. Spider-Man was probably smooching girls in college. Shit, why did I make this joke? And I don't know, I'm terrible at these jokes. And pretty much, they could have killed off. I know I'm getting off topic. This is a rant, but they could have killed it off. But instead, they sent her to save Steve Rogers and pretty much reassemble the Avengers. But back to the... They couldn't have survived. Even, they did not have any kind of, the usual astronauts have, unless they are not in the ocean, Max Wolf reference. Yeah, they shouldn't have survived. They had no oxygen out there. Everyone could breathe absolutely freely, although... Usually in the ISS, you also don't wear a spacesuit. But when spaceships glide out of orbit, have you seen a scene like this? Like that? They start becoming meteorites of steel. The nose starts pretty much to catch on fire because of the intense falling, the speed and the force of the ozone colliding with the nose, and of course the air pressure pressing up on the nose because of such high speeds and because it's steel. They should have even been demolished during the entire fall. Their skin should have definitely wore off in those first 5 seconds due to the immense speed. Then they would have just been everything else that meat. Well, they would have been meat. They would have been meat, nerves, and bone. Also their brain and all of the other things in the human body. They shouldn't have survived. Okay, I get it. Enough with Marvel movies. I just gathered some more on it, and maybe I'll make a follow-up on this. Next movie we are gathering on is Disney. Okay, many people have made a video on this specific topic. Again, this video contains major references to major spoilers to different Disney books. So if you want to see a Disney movie, or I'm pretty sure you have seen pretty much all of the Disney screenings there ever will have been and will be, because obvious reasons. You know who I suggest you immensely watching this video. I don't strongly just suggest it unless you're a 6-year-old, again, who believes they can't talk to animals. You cannot talk to animals, birds, or any kind of species who doesn't have a brain of such capacity to make the diaphragm and all of the other speaking components move in such a way that they can make a sound which the other member of the species can understand. And I am like, and what? Okay. Disney is dark. Very dark. Let's just take the Sleeping Beauty. Because Disney is dark, I know you know that. Well, if you don't, just look, because Disney doesn't make none of the Disney movies you have seen. I'm pretty sure you have seen Cinderella, The Sleeping Beauty, all of those. You have seen firstly in Disney form, and you'd think that Walt Disney himself made the stories. However, some stories he did not make. Most of them. I didn't think. My opinion is he didn't even make any of them, because some of the stories are from the Brothers Grimm, such as The Sleeping Beauty. No, wait, fuck, not The Sleeping Beauty. What was that? I don't remember. Well, The Sleeping Beauty is also from the Brothers Grimm, and that is what we're taking a look at this part of the video. Now, I'm sure you have read Sleeping Beauty. It's about a female who gets drugged, falls asleep, sleeps for around 10 years or so, gets awakened with a man's tongue put her in her mouth, and then they start doing all the usual Disney stuff, Disney movie ending stuff. But that is not how it should go. Science. First up, we don't know what agent was used to even drug her. Maybe it was a shit ton of arsenic. Maybe it was fucking, I don't know, atropine. Atropine, arsenic, belladonna juice. Pretty much everything. And it's to the extent that we don't know what it could be. It could have been absolutely anything, any sort of drug. But it could have just drugged her to sleep for 4 minutes. But no, she sleeps for around 10 years to be awakened in the usual Disney fashion. The absolute fuck Disney. Okay. Science. The human body, at least for some, calculates a sleeping pattern, a sleeping schedule, on when usually you wake up. This is true for workers of any sort. This is true for workers of any sort, school children, stay-at-home mums, dads, pretty much everyone who has some kind of job, or I don't know. When you're a freelancer, you don't. When you don't have a job, you're jobless. You don't have a sleep schedule, but active people do. Because with these people, at least I think so, the human brain calculates times of activity and of REM sleep and those of sleeping and activity. And well, if so, then even because I remember I think it was in Diary of a Wimpy Kid, where Greg, he was a 6-year-old, and he said to his parents, "Okay, I am now going to sleep. Don't wake me until it's Christmas." That was in Midsummer. Then again, we get told that he woke up 2 p.m. the next morning and then had a pretty messed up sleep schedule. Not for a long time, but still, it was pretty messed up. Again, one cannot sleep for this much for such a long time. This is also true in the this is the case of the. I mean, I don't remember which one. I haven't read the Disney thing in so long time, but I think that was the Sleeping Beauty. I don't know, because there was one who was cursed in that way that when they touch a thing which you sew shit with, you pass out until someone comes and saves you, and you cannot sleep for that long as he did. You cannot. You just cannot. You cannot, because then your body will just shut off. Because then the brain, if the sleep schedules were true, your brain would just go berserk, or it would just go nuts on why aren't you waking up on the time I told you to. Then your brain would just give up after 10 hours. You 10 years. You did not maintain any kind. You did not obtain any kind, or were administered to any kind of liquid or source of food, because the human body, you can be starved you can be left without water for longer than you can be without food. Sorry, you can be left out longer for food, so you can survive longer without food than without water. And well, she would have died within the first year. had a little issue here. I have to finish in 15 minutes. Okay, so the human body cannot survive for that long. She will die in the first year because of food and water shortage. So Disney movies, they just don't make as much sense. So I just want to know, because I don't want to just be like a 30-year-old rat, although I can constantly be a Karen. Okay. I need other movie. I just research some other movies and I'll maybe make a video next week. Okay. Goodbye. And I hope you enjoyed the video, and I also released some kind